Hey everyone, and welcome back. We are rounding out the end of week 3, and so far everything seems to be on schedule for us. So we have confirmed that airports here in the UAE are supposed to start having flights taking off and running regularly to international destinations on the 14th of May. So that's just a few days from now. And if that is true, if flights start running on time, then that's a very good sign for us that our mid-June target departure is going to be on schedule. Now, if for some reason those flights never start taking off, then that potentially is a bad sign, but we've also built in time for that. When you start to plan an international trip, you have to remember to build in large time buffers. Time buffers are important because there's so many things that could go wrong. Things from unexpected changes in travel policy to airline cancellations, hotel cancellations. You could have something go wrong with a credit card or a cellular phone. Something could go wrong in the family. Someone could get sick for a day or two. So you always want to build in ample time for things to go wrong. You want to build in contingency time. For us, we built in about 4 weeks of contingency time between when flights are supposed to start going and when we plan to depart, when we want to depart. But then, even though we want to depart sometime in mid-June, we still built in additional 4 weeks of contingency time in the event that we can't travel when we want to travel. So we won't be in a position where we are officially homeless until about mid-July. If mid-July comes and everything is still in lockdown, then we're going to have to find some other creative solution. And luckily, you're going to be right here to see what creative solution we pursue. But always build in that contingency time. Now, some of the other things that we're doing to prepare at the end of the 3rd week, we have started telling our friends that we're taking off. So friends are starting to discover that we're going to be leaving the UAE. The first few weeks, we just started to do some planning. We wanted to lay our groundwork. We told you, but we didn't tell our close friends here. And a lot of our close friends here don't even know that we have a website, that we have an internet online business. They don't know that we have a YouTube channel or a popular podcast. They just think that we're normal, everyday people. And that's exactly how we like it. There's so much value in remaining anonymous, especially in your everyday life. So we like to be anonymous in our everyday life as much as we can. So we started telling people this week that we're leaving, and all sorts of questions started coming in. So I figured I would answer some of their questions for you. First, aren't we worried about health insurance? So no, we are not worried about health insurance. And no, we will not be getting health insurance to travel internationally for our family. Here's why. The vast majority of the world and all of the countries that we are actively looking at traveling to have strong healthcare at their core, and it's a private healthcare system, which means it's all based on the laws of business and economics. So we know what medical insurance costs, even if you don't get sick. Everybody knows what medical insurance costs, even if you don't get sick. That's what sucks about medical insurance. No matter whether you get sick or not, it's a sunk cost. And even if you do get sick, there's tons of paperwork and all sorts of loopholes for insurers not to cover you, even though they said they would cover you. Instead, we pay out of pocket for everything when we are abroad, especially when we're in a country that has good medical on a private system. And it's because you know exactly how much a procedure costs, you know exactly how much a process costs. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. All prices are negotiable because it's a private business. Many countries have laws that require doctors to treat you, and then the same laws essentially make it so that if you can't pay, or if you can only pay a fraction of the total cost, it incentivizes the hospital to take whatever they can get. Unlike the United States, where they want to try to, jack up the costs for a lot of medical needs because they know that they can get more money out of insurers. Even in the US, if you choose to pay out of pocket for something, you have the ability to negotiate the final price. You can save a ton of money if you have a very small insurance plan, but you choose to negotiate and pay out of pocket for all of your healthcare needs, even in the US, which is one of the worst healthcare systems in the world. So we plan on traveling all over the world without health insurance. We've saved a nice nest egg to make sure that we've got it covered. But more importantly, we plan on going places where we know that we have good healthcare. And of course, we have tons of, we know our family is healthy. We have very healthy practices. We take good care of our health, good care of our diets, good care of our hydration needs. So the vast majority of preventable illness, we are able to prevent. so there's no reason to worry about health insurance. The second question we get is about cellular phones, mobile phones. How are you going to stay connected? So there's a lot of confusion out there about mobile phones. You'll find lots of information online about what kind of international plan or what kind of international phone is best when you travel abroad. I like to keep things very, very simple. So I have a plan with Google. I have a Google Fi plan. My Google Fi plan ties me to a US number, but allows me to travel anywhere in the world and use my cell phone on that plan. So I use Google Fi. Some people out there, I use Google Fi also because every phone made by Google that is compatible with the Google Fi plan is an unlocked cell phone. An unlocked cell phone is important because if it is not unlocked, it will not work on a foreign system with a foreign SIM card. So you have to have an unlocked cellular phone. In the United States, cell companies love to screw you because they will sell you phones that are locked only for the United States, and they will not even tell you that they have the opportunity, they have the ability to unlock your phone. So make sure that if you're going to travel abroad, you do some research, find out if your phone is locked or unlocked. If it is locked, get your cell phone provider to unlock it, or just buy a new cell phone. Wherever you go in the world, you'll be able to get your hands on a SIM card, a local SIM card. That local SIM card will give you data and allow your phone to work anywhere you are in the world. Even third world, African, desert, horrible places have these little kiosks that sell SIM cards. You'd be amazed how easy it is to stay connected with a mobile phone, as long as that mobile phone is unlocked and as long as you know where to find a SIM card. So we are not going to get health insurance. We are going to stick with our Google Fi plan. We do plan on buying a SIM card when we get to our new location. Now, I will be buying a new Google phone as well. So I plan on buying a Google Pixel 3 for lots of reasons. It's a good phone, it's a strong phone. I do a lot of business on the phone, so it's nice to be able to write off my cell phone as a business expense. But more importantly, I want a phone that's going to be able to keep me and the family connected confidently when we move to a new place. Everybody else is going to keep their existing phone. We all have phones that we own outright. They're only about a year or 2 years old. They're nowhere near being outdated yet, but I don't want us to get into a new place and then have some sort of technical issue that makes all of our cell phones fail. So we are, as a family, we are buying one new cell phone, and that one new cell phone will be my Google Pixel 3. All right, so are we any closer on where we're gonna go? Yes, we are starting to come in closer, but I want, more importantly, to highlight that if you are still wondering whether or not it's a good idea to travel, I want you to start doing some research right now, because just like Everyday Spy predicted, travel tickets, airline tickets, train tickets, hotel prices, everything is coming down. The cost of travel is decreasing, and it's decreasing at an incredible rate, right on schedule with our predictions. Countries are opening borders. Some countries are so aggressively opening borders and trying to invite tourists that they are willing to reimburse you or pay for hotels and flights. If you look at Sicily has, I think, 70% of their annual revenue comes from tourism. So coronavirus just obliterated Sicily's economy for 2020. And to try to make up for that, they are trying to woo tourists by paying 1 out of every 3 days of hotel lodging and reimbursing almost half of your flight to Sicily. That's incredible. Here is a state in Italy that wants so desperately for you to visit them that they're basically going to let the government subsidize your vacation to Sicily. So I'm telling you, travel is coming, and travel is coming in. It's going to be cheap, it's going to be easy, it's going to be fast, and you as the buyer, you as the traveler, are going to have incredible negotiation power. This isn't going to be like travel of old, of 6 months ago or 2 years ago, where you just have to kind of suck it up, where if something's uncomfortable or something isn't ideal, then that's tough on you. You're just going to have to sit there and deal with it. Instead, it's very much going to become customer centric, but it's not going to be that way forever. I think that by the end of summer, by about September, it's going to start getting back to more of the travel world that we're used to, where the customer isn't always right. You kind of have to put up with a little bit of crap from airlines, from hoteliers, from restaurant owners, and lodging managers, and that's going to be a lot less fun. But for now, my family is still gambling on the fact that travel is going to be fun. It's going to be easy. We're going to have an advantageous position to travel cheap, travel far, travel fast. We'll see how it goes. But my next mission is to figure out lodging. So we plan on going somewhere. We got to start looking at lodging costs. And then when we get on the ground, how are we going to get around? So those are my next missions, and I will be talking about those with you soon in week 4. All right, everybody, take care.